We welcome you back. In this morning's Dollars and Cents, cyber crimes are becoming more of a problem for more private businesses. According to a new study, cyber crimes have caused $2 trillion in losses this year alone. Wow. Joining me now is Jon Moen, Senior Vice President and Director of Product at First Bank, and he's here to talk about it. Let's talk. I mean, we know that scams and hacking, it happens pretty much everywhere in our private residence, in our banking accounts, but we're talking about private businesses. We've heard of the big data breaches where a lot of the info was stolen, but do you see a lot of that happening in private businesses as well?
Yeah, so the trend now is after business email compromise. So what's happening is businesses are being targeted by hackers, whether they're overseas or anywhere else. They're trying to go after preying on the staff of those companies, of the private companies. So it can be anything from trying to imitate an executive. So the executive's at a conference and they're trying to say, oh, you need to send this wire, you need to send this payment, we bought this new property.
And you know, an employee is going to say, oh, okay, boss,
right,
no
oh my
problem.
goodness, right, so I've got to send it right away. And so it's trying to prey on those employees, the weakest link of saying, this is urgent, you better do this because you don't want to upset the boss. That's one type of flavor. The other flavor is vendor scams. So they're trying to hack a vendor of one of those companies. And the vendor normally sends a bill, you always pay the same location, you pay the same place, and all of a sudden magically, oh, we changed our bank account, you now need to send the payment to New York or to some other place. And if it looks close enough, well, sure, I'll just send it, I won't question it. And that's the thing that has to happen is it's awareness.
Do these businesses, are they able to recoup some of their losses in these things?
Sometimes they can, but if they're wires, they're gone. I mean, when they go, they could go end up overseas, they could end up in Russia, some other country. So it's really scary, and that's why it's so important for awareness to make sure that everybody who has access to the payment system at a small business or even a mid-sized business, that they have awareness of don't fall for these kind of scams, whether it's a vendor scam or whether it's trying to impersonate an executive. It's just really about the awareness.
So if I'm a business owner, say here in St. Louis, a small private business, I'm not thinking about somebody over in Russia. So are there programs that we can go through and maybe talk to you about protecting ourselves?
Right, so talk to your bank, whether it's our bank or some other bank, talk to them about it. And it's important to set up things like dual control. Make sure that you've talked about if this happens, if something is a change and it doesn't look right, or even if the email looks a little off, don't assume anything. Always call that supplier. Hey, did you really change it? I got an email. If it's an executive, do you have some assistant? Do you have someone you can call to say, are we sure we're supposed to send this out? And why is this so urgent? Because they're trying to prey on the speed of, we got to do this right now. And most of the time, it doesn't have to be right now.
Probably not a bad idea to maybe confer with all employees in this regard as well.
Yes.
You know, this is what you look for.
Correct.
All right, some great information. Thank you so much. And if you want to learn more about the information on this, we have their website on the bottom, firstbanks.com. We will, of course, link you on our website as well as our Fox 2 mobile app. Thank you for the advice.
Thank you
very much. We'll be more aware now.
Thank you.
All right, time to take a break.